Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I jump into the topic today, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself, James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself, James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I also want to say sorry for the few days between videos. I was a bit busy and was unable to upload. With that said, I hope everyone is doing well today. And I wanted to talk about a slightly different topic. This is something I wish all young people would have a chance to see. And all older people as well that have a chance to mentor someone young. And that's a sit-down style interview with a rapper named China Mac and another rapper named Jin. The interview is entitled China Mac Sits Down with MC Jin After 15 Years. Basically about 15 years ago, a rapper named Jin and someone he was with was attacked by another rapper he didn't know at the time, by China Mac, where China Mac ended up on the run for about a year. And then once caught did 10 years in prison. What was interesting was China Mac explaining all of the anger and frustration that built up before the incident happened. And how what happened wasn't something personally directed at the other rapper Jin. How Jin just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And ended up on the end of this young man. China Mac's wrath, so to speak. But while on the run, like many that are in such a young man's boat, they think, what did I do? I just messed my entire life up. Interestingly enough, as the rapper Jin kept on going with his rap career, having some ups and downs, he found faith in God, and wrote China Mac while China Mac was in prison. And then they briefly spoke when China Mac was released. And this was their first real sit-down after all the dust had settled. Here's the thing. Sometimes people don't change. Just like the narcissist we talk about here on this channel. Maybe you have a narcissist mother, father, brother, sister, or maybe half of your family are full of these types. And please understand, when I say what I'm about ready to say, in no way am I saying you should allow these narcissists back in your life. But I do believe forgiveness is key. For one, since I'm too a believer, I ask myself, how am I supposed to expect God to forgive me if I'm walking around with hatred in my heart all day? The second thing is hatred is very heavy indeed. And it will weigh you down to the point where it can and oftentimes will destroy your life in some form or another. With that said, forgiving the narcissist in your life doesn't mean now you are best friends. However, in this instance with Jin and China Mac, like in many young people's stories that live in around gangs, there is so much inner turmoil going on in their lives. They are almost on autopilot doing really bad things. Because of self-blame and self-dislike. Maybe they are missing a father. I know China Mac had a rough upbringing. Maybe the examples they seen as a child were negative and bad. And they start to feel like they aren't worth much. And if they can't respect their own human life, it becomes very hard for them to respect another human life until sometimes it's too late. Now these young men have a chance to sit down and work together, which is a beautiful thing. And as I left a comment for them on this video, that I hope they are an example for all the young people that are struggling and need to learn the many life lessons that can be found for them in this interview. But with that being said, young man and young woman living in such a hard situation in our inner cities, please know these prisons are just looking for people to fill them. Do not give them the satisfaction. You see. Besides talking about narcissism and helping those of us in the narcissistic abuse community, I also have a calling to help those that live in such neighborhoods that are problematic and at times dangerous. Because I once lived in such a neighborhood, and I'm lucky to have gotten out. and to be safe. And I see so many young people make some bad life choices. Because they lived in such neighborhoods. And were taught the wrong way to go in life. And because they felt like no one cared for them. They stopped caring for others. And sadly, as a result, lives are lost. And as explained in this interview, these two weren't rivals. It was just one young man that was angry at the world. Sadly took it out on someone that was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And when you hear about similar stories in the news, oftentimes, it's the same situation. And there is no love or voice or caring in these situations that will grab the hand of such a person and pray with them. And will teach them to let their anger go. And how to be productive in other areas of their lives. Because there are some very, and I do mean very, talented people that come from such backgrounds. But they never have a chance, it seems, to use such talents because the streets seem to snatch them up. In one form or another. So my message to China Mac and to Jin. Keep on sharing this message of self-betterment. Because that's what I got from this interview. Self-betterment. It was very real. That's the best way I can say it. And I think more young people need to see such interviews before they let their anger get the best of them. Because no matter we are talking about dealing with the narcissist in our lives, or young people dealing with street life, your own anger will be your worst enemy. It will get you into a world of trouble. Take a step back and understand that if you give in to such anger, the narcissist is winning. Or in the street situation, the streets are winning. Or the prison system. But you are the one that comes out with a loss. And I love to hear how some people that have taken such losses figure out a way to turn that loss into a win. Where they are not only helping out themselves, but they are able to give back and teach others to not make the same mistakes they made in life. But if you would like, watch the interview. And tell me what you think. As I was very moved when I watched it. With that said, I will be back shortly with more content on narcissism and all that surrounds it. And I still have a lot of video suggestions to cover. And those that will be coming up shortly. With that said, don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell to be notified each and every time I make a new video. And don't forget to like and share so YouTube knows this content is very important to you and to others. And if you want to support even further, you can do so by the way of Patreon. And if you are already supporting by the way of Patreon, I humbly say thank you. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.